Abraham Lincoln, when tasked with cutting down a tree, said, "If you give me 5 hours, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening the axe." And he's going to cut more in 1 hour than the other person who just starts chopping for 5 hours. Will, welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. I want to share with you something really so valuable today, and how to free up your time. I've been lucky in my life to have a lot of free time. I was able to build a business that served over 300 people around the world, clients, and allowed me to travel. In 2017, I was in 11 countries and 12 states, and not really having to actually be on the computer that much because of the philosophy that I'm going to teach you. So if you are stressed on time, this will help you. If you want more time, this will help you. But you have to slow down and recognize that in order to make big things happen, it's not going to be flurry of activity. You have to differentiate between activity and accomplishment. And I know you want to go, but if you slow down and look for shortcuts, it's going to save you a tremendous amount of time. And this is really important. You have to differentiate between something that is urgent and important and something that is not important but not urgent. And actually, you're going to prioritize the things that are important but not urgent, and delegate or wait on the things that seem to be urgent but are not important. So the basic philosophy is you're going to spend 75% of your time automating future tasks. You're going to make decisions that will solve all future decisions. You're going to spend your first 4 hours sharpening the axe and then the last hour chopping down. Your first task is the task that's going to save you the most time. So what inspired me to do this right now, I'm working on the computer right here. I have this Facebook group. I just did this Facebook group launch method, which is really cool. And we enrolled 10 clients in a 2-day period, which is pretty good. Spent $400 on ads, and on average a client's worth about $600, so turned $400 into $6,000 over the next year. And also I pushed heavily through organic, so it's not fully that. Okay, so one thing about the system is you keep training a new cohort, and in between you have to remove everybody from the group, and then you start over. And I'm going to start a relaunch for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I'm going to be spending $100 on ads a day, something like that. Okay, so most people would be like, I have to remove 832 members from my group. If I can remove 10 members a minute, then 10 members a minute, then I would get 600 members an hour. It would take me an hour and a half. I'm going to be able to do this. Most people would sit down and do their hour and a half. And mind you, I have a job on a farm. I work on a farm and I love my job on the farm. I only have about 2 hours for my lunch break. Do I want to spend my hour and a half removing people from the group? Instead, what I did is I went on Google and I looked for ways to do it all at once. There's no way. I found some different articles on it. I spent about 20 minutes, then I was able to find a JavaScript, and I studied a little bit of computer science. You don't have to do that in order for this to work. And I plugged in a script and it did it automatically for me. So I spent 20 minutes instead of an hour and a half, where I know most people would spend an hour and a half. And there's so many different examples of this. It's not just like technology. I mean, one example is accounting. People spend all this time at the end of the year. I set it up on QuickBooks in the first start of the year. I go into my bank and say, hey, I want this all automated for me, so at the end of the year I don't have to spend that money on accounting. Now, you might not be in business, but this still applies to you. Decisions like what to wear. I got the exact same shorts that I always wear to work. There's no decision there. And there's decisions about how to communicate. There's decisions about when to leave. There's communications about what sort of messages to send. There's decisions about how to respond. We're always faced with decisions. And if you create a situation where you know your values, you understand who you are, you know what you stand for, then it becomes very easy to automate decisions, and you say, every single time in this situation, I'm going to do this thing. Every single time that this comes up, this is what I'm going to do. every single time I'm in this sort of a conversation, this is what I'm going to say. And if you spend time thinking about how I should react here on out forever, and you keep doing this, then you're going to find that your life is just flowing. And when it comes to business, it's like, how does someone make $1 million in a year selling a course? It's not through a lot of time. It's through a lot of automation, right? You know, I say this not to brag, but to inspire you and motivate you. And you know, when I look at some of my mentors and the numbers that they've done, I've done $200,000 since 2016. I've done that when, I mean, honestly, probably on average, throughout all of this time, probably the median day is like 2 hours of work. And the average day is probably like, the average is maybe 3 hours. And my guy David, who I interviewed recently, who did the million, he's like, I was like, I don't know if I have time for this, David. He's like, yeah, dude, I spend less time than you. I just spent the time setting up the automation. Now I do what I want to do, and the impact happens, the money flows. So, yeah, for you, I just want to help you save time. Is like, I mean, an example is people rush into something and they try to do it themselves. Like, dude, slow down, read the instruction manual, you know? If you're going to start a business, study the industry, study business models, right? If you're going to try to build something, why don't you slow down? It's like, you know, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You should find out that wheel already exists and then just go buy a wheel, right? People make this mistake and they waste so much time. I don't want you to waste time. I want you to save time. So I'm gonna get back to work. I got an extra hour or more from doing that. And I'm gonna put that hour to use. Some more high leverage stuff. Turn on some automation, turn on some ads, and relaunch this. So appreciate you, much love. Those of you entrepreneurs and want to work with me, there's an opportunity below to get into my business mastermind through Biz Wizards. Let's say Streamlife, something like that. So there's a chance to work with me. Costs money, but you'll learn a lot. We got some millionaires in here. Some big stuff happening, cutting edge stuff. So anyways, that might not apply to you. It might apply to you, but if you want to save time, I hope you found this video useful. That's all. Appreciate you. Thank you. Much love. Talk to you soon.